Demetrius West. I'm next right here on the Willie Moore Jr. Show, family. I put it on everything, huh? I'm next too. Yep. You know you from the neighborhood, Crystal, when you put it on something. That's what you say. Hey, I put that on something. You ain't got to. I stopped putting stuff on my mama though. Like after I realized the Bible said make your yes mean yes and your no mean no.
Thank you.
I was like,
thank you.
I'm like,
please.
yeah. I'm like, yeah. I just put it on something. Yeah, on something. Yeah. Speaking of something, real quick before we holler at Janai. Hey, family, attention to my SSI recipients. If you did not file a tax return last year and you have children under the age of 17, you got to act right now to get the $500 economic impact payment per child. Okay, if you did not act and you do not act by May the 5th, you got to wait till next year till you get that $500 per child. But why wait? All you got to do is go to irs.gov, enter your information in the non-filer tool by May the 5th, and you can get that $500 per child if your child is under the age of 17. Okay, that's irs.gov. This message is produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense. Shout out to our friends. Janai Thornton is in the house, and we are discussing something so important, and I love the way it came about. Janai, tell the story a little bit about your insurance friends and how they were so impressed with people getting their house in order.
Well, just kind of talking to all of my friends out here, seeing how everybody is doing, and it's all my friends in the insurance business have said they cannot believe the number of calls that they're getting. People are doing policy reviews. People who have life insurance are checking on getting more. And people who've been thinking about it for some time have finally gone ahead and pulled the trigger and are moving forward. So really excited to see how people are making some progress in the area of life insurance right now.
Man, that's good. Now, listen, I don't want you to be turned off by this because it's one thing that's inevitable. As long as you're here, one day you got to go, okay? And heaven is our reward. So we want to make sure that you have your life insurance because 70% of U.S. households with children under the age of 18 will have trouble meeting everyday living expenses with a few months if a primary wage earner were to die. Literally meaning that if the primary person who's taking care of the bills, if they pass, it's only going to take a minute before you'll be looking around wondering where the money is. And over 50 million people who make between $50,000 to $250,000 a year annually, they don't have life insurance at all. That's a problem. Janai, I got to ask you this. Who needs life insurance?
Well, think about it this way, Willie. If anybody that you care about depends upon your income, if something happens to you and then they're going to have problems, whether it's immediately or if it's going to be several months away, if they're going to have problems meeting those day-to-day needs, then you absolutely need life insurance. And then we have that other group to say, hey, I don't have anyone who's depending upon my income, but if something happens to me, I don't want to leave my family with the burden of taking care of my final expenses.
Yes,
Those
and
people
having to
also
do a
need-
GoFundMe page.
How many times have someone reached out to us to say, hey, please help? You definitely need life insurance as well. You don't want to leave your family with that burden or that responsibility when you could just put life insurance in place to take care of that.
No, that's real. Should you get it through your job or should you call somebody? Like, how does that work? If somebody's right now saying, you know what, I got enough time, should they do it through their job or should they call someone else individually?
Well, this is what I tell people. If your employer offers group life insurance, you should definitely check it out, particularly if you're someone who has a pre-existing condition, because you're not going to have to take that physical if you're just doing the normal group term and you're not, for example, if the normal coverage is like $25,000, you're not trying to increase that to like $100,000. You can typically get that coverage without having a physical at all. So I suggest check through your job, but also get several other quotes because you want to make sure, obviously, that you're getting a really, really good price from a company that's A-rated, at least A+ rated, to make sure, again, good coverage for the long term.
No, that's good. That's good. Hanging out with Janai Thornton, and we're talking about life insurance. Last thing before we get out of here and go to the next break, I want to ask you this, and I want you to be very, very honest. And if you can do it really, really quickly, how much life insurance do you need? Say just for a normal person. Should you have 20,000, 50,000? How does that work?
Well, what the experts say, and I'm using experts in air quotes, that you should have 10 times your annual income. So say you make $50,000 a year, experts say that you should have $500,000 in life insurance. But Willie, you know what I say? You get what you can afford to get. So if you make $50,000 a year and all you can afford is $50,000 or $100,000 in life insurance and term insurance, which is cheaper, then that's exactly what you need to have.
Got it. I got it. Okay, good stuff. Family, listen, when we come back, I want to give you an opportunity to hear more about some of the things that you need to know about life insurance, especially if you have a small business. I want to talk to you a little bit more with my sister Janai when we come back. It's the Willie Moe Jr. Show. Flat out. The Walls Group right here on the Willie Moe Jr. Show. Them young people, listen when you're getting old, Crystal. Them young people know they can sing. Come on.
The millenniums.
Let me tell you something. This is when you know you start to get a little seasoned, when you start calling teenagers and 20-year-olds young people. I'm telling you, that is a clear sign. Boy, them young people know they sound good. But no, shout out to the Walls Group. We love you guys to life. Janai Thornton's hanging out with us, and we've been discussing life insurance. Who needs it? How much should we have? We also talked a little bit about all of the people right now who do not have life insurance. Janai received a call from some of her insurance friends, and they were so excited for people like you who've been getting your house in order, believing that my house is going to be in order, my insurance is going to be in order, and I believe that this is you. And so here's some extra information for you. Janai, I want to ask you this. What are some good websites for a person right now that's been saying, Willie, no life insurance for me, but I want to get right. I've been looking at my children. I've been playing with them, and I know that if I leave here, I want them taken care of. What websites can we go to?
Here are a few sites. The first one is called Policy Genius. The second one, if you're interested in term, check out Quality Term Life. And then the third one, Willie, is called AccuQuote. Again, okay. AccuQuote. You want to check out those three. And again, you want to get quotes from at least 3 separate insurance companies.
No, that's good. That's good. I like that you always put it in threes. I want to ask you this. Like, since we're talking insurance, what's the difference between term and whole life insurance plans? You talked a little bit about term being cheaper.
Think about it like the difference between renting a house and buying a house. So term is like renting. So you'll get a life insurance policy, say maybe for 20 or 30 years. At the end of the term, it's over. You don't have any more coverage. Think about whole life insurance this way. It's permanent. So there is no term. You have it forever, but it always costs more. So if people are on a budget, Willie, and they're really concerned about price, I suggest people get the term life insurance. But again, get it for the longest term that you can. And I've seen term as long as 30 years.
Okay, that's good. That's good. We're discussing life insurance with Janai Thornton. So a young man, and I call him young, he's actually 62 years old. He's coming out of Baltimore, Maryland. He told me not to say his name, but he said that he was afraid that he may be turned down for life insurance. Like, what could get a person turned down for life insurance?
There's several factors. I mean, obviously health reasons, any pre-existing conditions. Willie, if people are involved in what might be considered dangerous activities like skydiving, people who have filed for bankruptcy within the last 12 months typically are not eligible, and people who have certain criminal records as well may be turned down.
Now, wait.
Wait.
So if I file for bankruptcy, no, Willie. So if you file for bankruptcy, I can't get my life protected?
Well, what typically happens is within the first 12 months of your bankruptcy, you may not be eligible. I'm not saying that you won't be, but I think that's just the insurance company's way of protecting themselves to say, hey, they consider you to be more at risk. So they're like, you know what, let's let them get through this first 12 months of this bankruptcy, and then we'll take a look at them.
We're not even going to acknowledge Willie talking about criminal stuff.
Man, I'm just saying, what type of criminal can't get a life insurance? They the most at risk. But in any event, we ain't going to worry about that. Janai, I want to ask this because a lot of small business owners are asking this. You know, you work so much to build your business as an entrepreneur, but what if something happens to you? Is there a certain type of life insurance? Is there a certain policy that can also take care of your business?
Well, you know, it's interesting. You know, a lot of small business owners don't think about this. You know, if something happens to me, just like you want to leave your household in order, you also want to make sure that there's money to wrap up your affairs and close out your business. And what I tell people, you can actually just get another life insurance policy. So you don't have to get any special type of business policy. You can just have another life insurance policy, but where you've designated those proceeds proceeds, when something happens to you, that can be used again to wind up your business, pay employees, shut things down. And in that way, your family doesn't have to use any of the money that you use for them personally to wind up your business affairs.
Janai, you talking right. That's what my man Big Shiz used to say. When you really talking right, Big Shiz, he'll just pause and say, you talking right, huh? Shout out to Janai Thornton. If you need to hear her talk even more right, I want you to follow her at JanaiThornton.com. JINITHORNTON.com. And of course, you can follow her on social media as well at Janai Thornton. Not Jenny, Janai. Okay. Janai, listen, we love you to life. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Of course, Willie. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Hanging out with Crystal Lee and Sybil Wilkes when we come back. Flat out.